My husband's cousin never liked me. He never missed a chance to poison our life. When I became pregnant, my husband was happier than me. He took care of me in every possible way, holding my hand through doctor's visits, making sure I rested, and dreaming aloud about our baby's future. But that happiness was something his cousin couldn't stand. One day, he casually asked my husband, "Are you sure the baby is yours?" At first, my husband laughed it off. But the cousin didn't stop. Every few days, he repeated the same toxic words. "You trust her too much." Sometimes the people closest to us hide the biggest secrets. He had no proof, only venom. At first, my husband defended me. But when a lie is repeated again and again, even the strongest trust begins to crack. The day our son was born, I saw the change in his eyes. Instead of joy, there was silence. Instead of excitement, there was doubt. A week later, he sat beside me and whispered, "I want a DNA test." The world stopped, not because I feared the result, but because the man I loved no longer trusted me. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I simply looked at him and said, "Okay." Maybe he expected me to refuse. Instead, I signed the consent papers myself. For the next week, we lived like strangers under the same roof. Every night, I cried quietly after he fell asleep. Not because of the DNA test, but because trust had already died. 1 week later, the doctor handed him the report. With trembling hands, he opened it. The doctor smiled and said, "Congratulations. You are the child's biological father." My husband broke down in tears. He held my hand and kept repeating, "I'm sorry. I made the biggest mistake of my life. Please forgive me." I quietly placed another envelope in front of him. He opened it, and his face turned pale. They were divorce papers. "Please, don't do this. I know I was wrong," he begged. I took a deep breath and said, "The day you believed someone else's words more than mine, our marriage ended." Later, his cousin admitted he had fabricated everything out of jealousy. But his confession came too late. Some wounds never heal. A few months later, our divorce was finalized. Today, my ex-husband is a wonderful father to our son. He never misses birthdays or school events, but every time he leaves, he looks back at me with regret in his eyes. People often ask me, "Why didn't you forgive him after the DNA test proved you were innocent?" My answer is always the same. Because I could never spend my life with a man who asked me for proof when he should have been standing beside me. When someone questioned my character, he should have silenced the accusation, not asked me to prove my innocence. The moment he chose doubt over trust, our marriage was already over.